take this as permission. If you have a Twitch stream or you want to use my music in one of your videos or something, this is your permission. Go ahead and use the music.
What up, fam? What up, fam? Tom Macdonald has a new one today. Scars. I'm sure you've all already heard it. Hog families on top of the game. And I am such a little reactor that my stuff gets lost in the wash. It's like that one sock you love, but you'll never ever find again. But I'm going to check this song out right now because I am the hugest Tom Macdonald fan. So let's do this right now.
I don't remember how I got all these scars, but I know I lived a hell of a life. I can't remember how I made it this far, but I know it was a hell of a fight. Could have been some bones in a coffin stone, drinking vodka, locked up with the bros, causing problems, broke at the bottom. You know that I got a lot of marks under these clothes. Should have killed me, somehow I survived. These tattoos
Wow, man, that's pretty deep, you know? And everybody has a story like that. And on their body, you can tell the story, you know? It's pretty intense. And especially like tattoos, you know? Like we're all young and crazy and we get this. I mean, I'm covered in stupid tattoos, man. I got tattoos everywhere. And honestly, they're all stupid. I could pretty much, and this is my daughter's name. I like that. But I wouldn't get it again. I wouldn't do it again. So it all proved true what parents say. But at the same time, I'm not going to spend $1 to remove them. And yeah, they're blown out and they look like crap. And most of mine were given to me by some gangbanger in San Diego on a driveway, sitting on like an oil change stool. And I mean, that's meaningful, you know? Like, probably can't name who did them in these videos, but the stories, there are stories behind all of it, you know. I mean, it was like this: yo, homie, what are you doing? Get in the backyard, bro. You're not allowed to be standing out there, man. They're all gonna think you're a cop out here, homie. So but those are stories, you know. It's true. And some people are going to have a lot more stories, like, you know, Tom, all the face tats, the neck tats, you know, when you start getting them all over your face, or you got those, I don't even know what they're called, what gauges. I have a stepdaughter that has some big ones, right? Super stretched out. And I think about that later. And it's like, you know, somebody accidentally catches a finger on that, or you're riding a quad by a tree and a branch hooks that yanks it out, and then all of a sudden you look like the person from Something About Mary. It's like you got a little like something right there. Right? Like it tells a story, you know. And it makes me think like it's a book of life, like the Bible talks about, you know. Everybody has their own individual book of life, and that's what the body is, essentially. So I dig the video. I dig how Tom's doing this. I always really deep. Like whenever I react to one of his songs and I put it in the playlist and I listen to it over and over on all these bike rides and driving in the car or whatever. And man, I get so much more out of these songs as time goes on. So they really, that's what's great about them. Is that a lizard sitting on that tire right there? Right there? That right there. It looks like a lizard. Huh. No telling. Let's go. I'm gonna go back.
I don't remember how I ended up here, but I know I probably should have died. I don't remember why I cried all those tears, but I know that I turned out alright. I know that people wanted me dead. I lost all my friends, was running from the cops. stops, getting red was dark in my head. You know that I have seen a lot of things in all of my years, but I'm thankful for this crazy life. Every single scar and every single scrape,
Yeah.
every bruise and tattoo along the way tells a little story that I can't explain because the words escape me, but the marks remain. They won't ever fade and they can't be erased. They made me who I am and I am not ashamed. Every bump and scratch and every drop of blood prove how far I've came. These tattoos on my arm hide from you all the scars. These tattoos on my arm hide from you all the scars. I have had my scars longer than most of my friends. Crashed a couple cars, put some stitches in my legs. Looked up at the stars and all I can say is thanks. Recovery was hard, but it made me who I am. All these ugly battle scars complete me. They're reminders of the demons who tried their best to defeat me. They don't look so good in photos, but my struggles ain't beneath me. And these tattoos ain't for nothing, this is physical graffiti. Every broken bone, all the sticks and stones, and the moments when I felt so alone. Every single tear and like a million beers that I only drank so I could try to cope. Every bloody nose and all the muddy clothes when I was in the dirt down inside a hole. Every single scuff and every single scab made me who I am. These tattoos on my
Man, it goes deep. I have a bunch of scars myself. I went through a phase where I'm in my late 30s. I got a mohawk. I'm breeding these big, large pit bulls. And I went through a phase where I was cutting myself a little bit, and I have a hard time admitting that. It's not something I want my kids to know about, but it's like it calmed me down. And it really wasn't, I don't know, man. It's demonic. I think it's demonic, but my son asks sometimes like, "Hey, what's that about?" And you think about it even on the bigger picture, we do this bike ride and lately we've been seeing a whole lot of trans people on this bike ride. And I mean, some of these dudes, cuz I'm going to call them dudes, but man, they got their arms just riddled like like scars. And for me, I was overworked. I had people depending on me for a lot of stuff. And, it was just like I couldn't get enough sleep. There was a lot going on. And I'm not getting into that story, but, hearing a song like this makes me reflect and think about how, I've come so far. And it was part of it was my daughter being born that, basically I realized like, look, I got to change my life. I got to step away from where I'm at right now. And it's everybody in their life has that, and we may not agree. And like even Tom, like I love all the tattoos Tom has. I think it gives him that hard, the street credibility comes with it. Like I appreciate him rapping because he came from so much, and knowing his backstory. And thankfully a lot of you uh Hog family have explained the backstory even at more depth to me, and I appreciate that. And I value rap coming from somebody who's experienced some real hardship in his life. You know, there's other great lyricists that throw awesome lyrics out there, and they can rhyme and they can make a beat, but knowing that somebody was like, living in the hood, using a power cord to plug into someone else's house so that they could keep whatever whatever food they had in their fridge cold, like I feel for that. So I don't know, man. I like where he's going with this song because it makes you reflect on so much of your life and then gives you the opportunity. Like I can be a total asshole sometimes, so being able for me to reset a little bit and think like, don't judge that person. or go easy on that person, because man, they're dealing with more stuff than you realize. You know what I mean?
Hide from you all the scars, these tattoos on my arm. Hide from you all the scars, these tattoos on my arms. Hide from you all the scars.
It's another great one. I'm gonna put that in the playlist. I dig it. I really dig it. It's how does he do it? How does he keep coming back and making more good songs? Like like I said, man, Tom Macdonald's the real deal. I appreciate his music. I appreciate it because it makes us all look in, you know, and we all got scars, man. Our book of life, you know, it's traumatic in some cases. Some of my chapters are super dark, and some of my chapters are not, and they're looking up. And but you know what? That's about. But it makes you realize you don't want to judge other people, and you also don't want to judge the book by the cover. You know, I never had a tattoo. I never smoked any weed. I never did any of that until I was like in my 30s. My first tattoo came after I bought a pit bull, and so the pit bull sort of. I mean, you can buy a pit bull and be normal, right? But then I started breeding the pit bull, and I got into a different element, and it really changed my life in a lot of ways. And I'm not going to say any of it was super bad, because it came with a lot of high points in my life. But there's also a lot of things that I really could have lived without. So, that said, love you guys. Take care. Late.